Hello guys and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the all-new 2023 Acura Integra. Honestly, this thing looks very good, and it is replacing the ILX, and there's three trims to choose from. There is the base, the a-spec, and then the highest trim is the a-spec technology, which is this one. But let me go ahead and show you all the features this one has. Under the hood there is a 1.5 turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that is straight from the Honda Civic Si. This engine produces 200 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque, and the fuel economy numbers are 29 in the city, 36 highway, and 32 combined. Here is a MSRP sticker of this 2023 Acura Integra. If you guys are interested in the standard features it has, just go ahead and pause the video. And the price with destination is $37,000. If you guys are curious about the color is called Platinum White. It is a $500 option, and honestly, this Platinum White looks amazing on this Integra. So this is the 2023 Acura Integra, and honestly, it looks very, very good in person. I think Acura did a great job with it, and from certain angles, this thing looks like the new Honda Civic Si. Especially from this angle, I feel like it's very similar to the new Civic Si or the normal Civic. Coming to the front, I love the design, as I said, and this Platinum White has a ton of metallics in it. I really love the grille. It is finished in gloss black, and it's not very big. I think it's the perfect size, and it fits this car very good. There's front parking sensors here in the front. I really love the bottom trim, or the gloss black trim in the bottom. There is LED fog lights, and the Acura badge is nice and big. And for the headlights, I love the design. They look very, very nice, and everything right here in the front is LED, and that's expected from a $37,000 car and from Acura. And I really love the daytime running lights and the turn signal indicators. So all the way up top, that's where the turn signal indicators are. Underneath is the daytime running light, and all the way in the bottom is the dual LED headlights. And I really love what Acura did there. It says Integra, so a very nice touch from Acura. And this thing seriously looks amazing, very clean, and just looks very luxurious. And I'm really upset that the ILX is gone, but I think this Integra looks honestly amazing in person. But I really wish that this Integra did not have a CVT. I really wish that Acura brought the 8-speed DCT transmission to this Integra. I think Acura would have sold a lot if they put the 8-speed DCT transmission. But let's go ahead and move to the side, and I'll show you the side view of this new Integra. Here is a side view of this Integra, and honestly, the side view looks very good. I really like the long hood, and I really like this back portion right here. By the way, it is a hatch, and it does remind me of the Civic hatch from right here, but of course, it's much better. Anyways, I really love the sharp line in the bottom, or the sharp lines in the bottom. There is another line right there. And overall, I think Acura did a great job with the design. And by the way, the Integra comes in 6-speed manual transmission or CVT. I really wish that Acura made the Integra with a 10-speed automatic transmission or the 8-speed DCT transmission from the ILX. So I think that's a really bad move from Acura to put a CVT transmission in the Integra. There is an a-spec badge right there. And as I mentioned, there is 3 trims to choose from. There is the base, the a-spec, and the a-spec technology, which is this one. For the mirrors, they're finished in white, but the bottom portion of them is finished in flat black, and they do have a blind spot monitoring system and a turn signal indicator. And overall, I really love the way how this car looks like from the side. On the roof, there is a standard size sunroof, and for the rims, I think they look honestly amazing, and they do fit this car really good. They're finished in dark gray, and the size is 235/40/18. So the size is good, and the rim design looks good. But let's go ahead and move to the back, and I'll show you the back view of this 2023 Integra. Here's the back of this hatch, and honestly, the back looks very, very nice. Over the pictures and videos I've seen, I really did not like the back of this Integra, but standing in person, this thing looks very good. For the taillights, they have a really nice look to them, and everything right here in the back is LED, and that's expected from Acura. And by the way, it does say Acura inside. And overall, I think the taillights have a nice design to them. A-spec badge is on the left. The Acura badge, of course, is back here. And the button for the hatch is right there. There is rear parking sensors, and reflectors have a nice look to them, a little bit on the bigger side. And I really like what Acura did here. The imprinted Integra in the back, just like what they did in the front. And lower portion of the bumper is finished in gloss black. And by the way, the exhaust tips are real, they're not fake, so they're connected to the exhaust pipe. So good job Acura for making the exhaust tips connect to the pipe. Here is a key of this 2023 Integra, and honestly the key looks very good, but it's a little bit on the bigger side, but it does feel nice and solid. This key has 5 buttons on it: remote start, lock, unlock, and a button to unlock the trunk, and a panic button all the way in the bottom. This key is mainly finished in flat black. It does have some brushed aluminum or silver on the side. It does say Acura right here, which is nice. And in the back there is the Acura badge. And to remote start this car, lock it once and then hold down the remote start button. And it does sound a little bit better than the Civic. I'm not sure if they have the same exact setup, but it does sound a little bit louder. Not really by much. Let's go ahead and turn off the car, and let's go ahead and unlock the car. So again guys, this button, this trunk release button, it doesn't really open the, does not open the hatch. So it is manual hatch. So there is no power lift gate on the Integra, which is sad because this car is $37,000 and I really wish it had powered lift gate. There is a handle right here and another handle actually on the left, which is nice. And there is a privacy cover that goes up and down with the hatch. But yeah, for a hatch, I really wish there was a powered lift gate because it is big, but the hatch itself, it's very nice and light, and it goes up very quick by itself. There's LED lights on the left and right, and the trunk is actually nice and deep and big in this Integra. So I really like the amount of space in the back, and I'm gonna drop the seats down in a bit. It does have the ELS Studio 3D sound system. Again guys, there is some LED lights, some tie downs. There is a storage place on the left, and underneath there is a fixed flat kit. There is no spare tire, a little bit of storage place. And if we open this more, basically there is nothing, but you could actually put a spare tire in the back. So you could remove this foam piece and you could put a spare tire in the back. And I'm glad that there is a place for a spare tire. But let's go ahead and drop the second row down, and I'll show you the amount of space in the back of this Integra. Alright, so I just dropped the seats down, but before I actually show you the amount of space in the back of this Integra, I just want to go ahead and move to the back and show you how the car actually looks like with the hatch open. So that's how the car looks like with the hatch open. But let's go ahead and see the amount of space with the second row down. So inside there is a ton of space, and by the way, it does have 16 speakers of ELS sound system. I completely forgot to mention that. But yeah, in the back there is a very good amount of space with the seats down. Here is a door handle, and the door handle has a sensor behind it. That's how you unlock the car. And to lock it, there is 3 lines right here. Basically this is a sensor. Tap on it and this will take care of locking the car. Here is the front door panel of this 2023 Integra, and honestly I think Acura did a great job with the way how the door panel looks like. You know, you really like the red, and I think you only get the red on the a-spec trims, so the base won't get the red. And this top portion right here is nice and soft. It is that synthetic rubber material. The door handle feels actually nice and solid, and not sure how I feel about this flat black, but it does have some texture to it, so that's nice. Memory seats, brushed aluminum, I think it does look good. And this whole thing right here is nice and soft. The armrest is extremely soft, and this is plastic. It does feel nice, solid plastic, so not cheap plastic. Speaker looks okay, and there's another speaker right here, ELS Studio sound system. And for the bottom speaker, I really wish that Acura tried just to make it look a little bit better. Maybe some brushed aluminum would have been nice around it. But this top speaker looks very good. By the way, 16 speakers of ELS sound system, and all the window switches, mirror controls, everything looks good. And they're basically straight from a Honda Accord, which honestly I don't mind at all because they are very, very solid. I owned a 2018 Honda Accord, and those button switches, everything felt nice and solid, so I'm very familiar with them. And for the seats, I think the seats are very, very nice. I really wish they were a tiny bit more comfortable. So I really wish there was a little bit more cushion in the bottom, but the back is good and the sides, everything is good. So in the center, this is actually Alcantara, so nice and gribby, so it hugs you when you're cornering. And the side is finished in leather, so this is black leather, and then there is leather right here. I love the stitching, and overall I think the seat actually looks very, very nice. And of course the seat controls are in the bottom with lumbar support. But let's go ahead and move inside and I'll show you how it looks like from the side. Alright, so here is the interior of this 2023 Acura Integra, and honestly the interior looks very, very nice. It does remind me of the new Civic, but it's much, much better. The Honda Civic, the new one, has like honeycomb vents all the way across, which I'm not a big fan of, but I think they did a great job with the vents right here. Anyways guys, steering wheel is straight from a Honda Civic, but the center of course is a little bit different, or I should say the badge is different. It does say a-spec in the bottom. There's some brushed aluminum in the bottom. It is reflective, the sun is shining on it, and it is kind of annoying, but overall the steering wheel design looks good. There's some gloss black, the buttons are finished in flat black, and overall I think the interior of this Integra looks amazing. Right here on the left there is the seat buttons, volume controls, and voice command, and on the right is the safety features, Acura watch, so you'll have the adaptive cruise control, steering assist, the cruise controls. This button right here will turn on the whole system, so the whole system is on. And there's some paddle shifters, they feel nice and solid. And here is the headlight controls with the fog light controls and turn signal controls. And on the right is the wiper controls. And here is the engine start stop. Let me see if I could focus on it. It does look very good. There is no back wiper. I think Acura should have added a back wiper. And for the gauge, or for the gauge screen, it is a 10.2 inch screen, and the gauges look very good. And by the way, when you change the drive modes, the gauges do change a little bit. So this is comfort, normal, and sport. Just only the ring around the gauges change, but yeah, very subtle change, but it does look nice. There is this button right here, or this wheel right here on the steering wheel. You could go up and down. You could basically put whatever you want right here on the left. So let's say if you want maybe Bluetooth on the left, it will display it there, but I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Let's see if we could do maybe put something else, phone. So we'll display something like that on the left gauge. For the vents, they look honestly amazing, and I really love the design. They're finished in brushed aluminum and dark silver. I really like this trim. That's how you like the vent. And in the bottom there is the traction control button, and here is a screen. It's a 9-inch screen. It is a tablet style screen, and of course it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And this is actually Honda system, so Acura basically changed the background and the colors of the apps and made everything black, so everything looks good. But it reminds me a lot of Honda, which I really don't like for $37,000. There's a back button, there's a home and back button, and here is the volume knob, but there is no tune knob. And this is basically a tune knob and the seat buttons, and there's some shortcuts in the bottom. Here is the backup camera. Backup camera resolution is alright. It does have 3 different angles, so down view, narrow, and wide. And this is straight from Honda, even the buttons in the bottom and everything. Rear cross traffic, and you could have basically the full screen. And yeah, overall backup camera is alright. I really like this trim. I think it does look honestly amazing. And by the way, this is nice and soft. Even this right here is nice and soft. Coming down, this is straight from a Honda Civic, and here is the fan speed, off, on. All the buttons feel nice and solid. It does have an automatic function and the sync function, because it does have the dual function. So you could have 63 right here, and you could have 60 right here if you want to. Heated seats, 3 stages, buttons, and everything honestly feels amazing. In the bottom there is good storage place, wireless phone charger, 1 USB-C, 1 USB, and 1 12 volt. And here is the shifter that will control the CVT transmission in this Integra. You could get it in 6-speed manual transmission, but I really wish that Acura made this Integra with the 8-speed DCT transmission from the ILX or the 10-speed from the TLX. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this CVT. I'm going to take it on a test drive and I'll exactly tell you what I think about this CVT transmission. And it's not a good thing from Acura to put a CVT transmission in a car like this. And this is a luxury brand, so CVT transmission is no good. And Acura is more toward the sporty feel and drive, so CVT transmission in a sporty car or sporty brand just doesn't make any sense. Here is the individual button, so I basically could customize the drive mode. Here is the drive mode. As I told you guys, when you change the drive mode, the gauges change slightly. It does display on the screen. And here is the engine start stop, e-brake, brake hold, and here is the shifter. And the shifter feels a little bit on the cheaper side, so when you change gears, it just doesn't sound that luxurious. It sounds like a Honda Civic. And I really like the leather with the stitching. Cup holders are nice and big. This is finished in gloss black. The armrest is nice and soft. It's actually extremely soft. Inside there is an okay space. I think they could have made the storage place a little bit bigger, but I really love the fact that this is nice and soft. And here is the rear view mirror. It's frameless, it's nice and big, and seeing out of the back is perfect. There is some LED lights, which is expected, of course. The Civic has LED lights. And this button right here will turn on all the lights in this Integra. You could push to tilt, or you could open and close from the same button, which is good. Glasses holder, nice and big, and it does have a standard size sunroof. And inside there is a good size mirror with a halogen light. I really wish it was LED, and this is actually very soft. Usually Honda does a great job with their visors. And by the way, I've noticed something. I'm not exactly sure what is this. I think probably this is a speaker. Yeah, it does look like a speaker to me, but it's very big and very bulky. Here is the other side, by the way. So I think they could have just made a tiny speaker right here, just like the other cars. And let me go ahead and show you the glove box. Glove box is decent size, and this is actually soft. Wow, this is extremely soft, so that's good. Wrapped in leather, and right here this is plastic, which is fine, but wow, this is nice and soft. Here is the back door panel. The back door panel has the same design as the front, but Acura did cheap out a lot here. So this top portion right here is plastic. This is plastic, so it doesn't have the same trim as the front. This is plastic. This is nice and soft, just like the front. The armrest is nice and soft. Here is the window switch. Door handle feels nice and solid. A tweeter. This whole thing right here is plastic. Not a big fan of it. This feels very cheap. Not a big fan of it. Anyways, the bottom is plastic, which is expected. Decent amount of storage place in the back of this door. And here is a speaker. And for the back seats are actually not too bad. They're nice and spacious, so there's a good amount of leg room. The headroom is alright, and the only reason is because of the way how the roof slopes down. And something about this door, I really wish it opened a little bit more to make getting in and out easier. And back here there is an armrest. Extremely soft, even before touching it. It's very, very soft, so I really like that. 2 cup holders, not that deep, but they're decent size. And there's an LED light up there, and you could actually turn it off and on from here, which is nice. And there is 2 USBs type A. There is no USB type C, and that's how the front of this Integra looks like. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Honestly, over the pictures and videos, I did not really like this Integra, but in person, this thing honestly looks amazing, and the styling just looks beautiful. I think Acura did a great job with it. Anyways, guys, I would like to thank Acura By Executive here in North Haven, Connecticut, and Manny for providing me this Integra. If you guys are around and if you guys are interested, make sure to come check them out. I'm going to go ahead and put the information and link in the bottom of this video. And if you guys would like to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you next time.